Ever played a game that felt like it actively hated you? You know, a game that just seemed to delight in making you fail over and over, maybe even humiliatingly.
Oh, yeah.
But somehow you just couldn't stop playing. Like the more it crushed you, the more you, I don't know, loved it and you actually got better.
That's a very specific feeling, but yes, absolutely.
Well, today we're doing a deep dive into Spelunky. It's a game that I think perfectly embodies that strange, perplexing allure. We're going to explore this kind of groundbreaking, roguelike inspired platformer and its sequel, Spelunky 2.
Yep, the big one.
And our insights today, they're coming straight from the community. We've got detailed guides on mastering the mechanics, some really intricate stuff, trailer analyses, and a look at its history and
The
development.
community around these games is intense in
Yeah.
a good way.
Totally. So our mission today, unpack Spelunky's unique, perilous charms. We'll look at its challenging design, some pretty wild money-making strategies bordering on criminal sometimes.
Yeah, definitely criminal.
Ah, right. And we'll get into the sequel's evolution and even some of the, like, passionate debates around Spelunky 2. You should get ready for some real aha moments about why this game is seen as, you know, one of the greats, despite, or maybe because of how brutal it is.
Exactly. The difficulty is key.
Okay, let's unpack this then. What is it about Spelunky that makes it so enduring, so popular, even influential?
Well, it's quite a story, actually. The original Spelunky, it was developed by just one guy, Derek Yu, released as freeware way back in 2008.
Freeware. Wow.
Yeah. And it got this cult following pretty fast because it was doing something genuinely new. Derek Yu took inspiration from traditional roguelikes, the NetHack.
Okay, yeah. Random levels, permadeath.
Exactly. Randomly generated levels, permadeath, lose everything when you die, and this idea of universal interactivity. Like almost everything in the game world can affect everything else. But, and this is the genius part, he mashed that together with the feel of classic 2D platformers, the physics, the real-time action, kind of like Super Mario.
So, right, it wasn't just a platformer, and it wasn't just a roguelike. It was this blend. How did that create something new?
It basically carved out its own niche, you know, heavily influenced what we now call the roguelike-inspired platformer or roguelite genre. So many games followed that blueprint.
Makes sense.
And the team behind the enhanced version, the one that really blew up, that was Derek Yu, Andy Hull as lead programmer, and Eric Serkey doing the music. Amazing soundtrack, like 47 tunes.
Oh, wow.
And its journey was kind of cool, too. Freeware, then Xbox Live Arcade in 2012, then PC, PlayStation, Switch, eventually leading to Spelunky 2 in 2020.
So you play as this spelunker character, Guy Spelunky, I think they call him in the sequel.
Yep, it's him.
Exploring these caves, they're different every time, fully destructible. You're like whipping enemies, jumping on them, collecting treasure, using bombs and ropes.
Limited supply, right?
Very limited, yeah. Crucial resources.
But the big thing for a lot of people is probably the permadeath. Lose all your hearts, hit an instant kill trap, bam, game over, right back to the start. And that wasn't an accident. Derek Yu was apparently really adamant about that immediate difficulty. It wasn't just to be mean.
No.
No, it was a core design choice to teach you that death, failure, it's expected. It's actually like a crucial part of learning the game. You have to die a lot.
That's fascinating. So that initial really punishing difficulty, it actually makes you engage more because you can't just memorize levels.
Exactly. They change every time.
Yeah.
You have to learn the systems, how enemies move, how traps work, the physics, how it all interacts. The emergent stuff.
Right. The unexpected chain reaction.
Precisely. And reviewers picked up on this. One quote I love is, "Every death feels fair. Fairly humiliating, fairly avoidable, and fairly inevitable."
That's good. Fairly inevitable.
Another one said, "Somewhere during the journey you realize you've gained skills, your perception's changed." It's not fake difficulty. It's just pure skill and common sense. Every failure teaches you something, builds that understanding.
Okay, speaking of understanding intricate mechanics, let's talk about getting rich in this game. Because just surviving isn't the whole story, right? For the really hardcore players, it's about the gold. Tons of it.
Oh, yeah. Score runs are a whole different beast.
And one of the wildest ways involves something called ghosting.
Ah, yes. The ghost. Capital G. This terrifying purple specter shows up after 2.5 minutes in most levels. There are exceptions, boss layers and stuff.
Her job is to hurry you up, right?
Primarily, yeah. But super clever players figured out how to use her. See, if she touches loose gems, she turns them into diamonds. Massively increases their value.
Okay, here's where it gets really interesting then. The game actually rewards you for taking huge risks, for being patient, just for more money.
Totally. The community mantra is literally patience is golden. You got to take that extra time, sometimes way longer than you'd think, to carefully lure the ghost around. Let her touch all the gems, make them diamonds, all while dodging her.
How does she move? Is it random?
Nope. Predictable, thankfully. She moves diagonally until she lines up with you, horizontally or vertically, then she zips straight at you. Understanding that pattern is everything.
So you use items to manage her. Jetpacks, ropes.
Exactly. Jetpacks for speed, ropes, and climbing gloves for positioning. Even the camera item can stun her for a second, gives you time to grab the loot.
But getting rich isn't always about being clever and patient, is it? Sometimes it sounds like it's about, being bold. Maybe even a little criminal.
A little, huh? Yeah, the community guys are pretty blunt. If you want that expensive jetpack or shotgun from the shopkeeper,
Don't tell me.
quote, you can pay for expensive items with violence.
Oh my God.
Yep, murder the shopkeeper, take his stuff, and then, quote, ransack their pockets for extra cash. It's risky, shopkeepers are tough, but for those top scores, you will never get a fantastic score by spending your money. Crime pays, apparently.
Wow. Okay, so before the ghost shows up or before you commit aggravated robbery, you have priorities.
Big time. Deal with the shopkeepers one way or another. Get key items like the Ujet Eye. Find secret areas like the black market. Take out major threats. Maybe set up vaults for ghosting later. Smaller stuff, sacrifices, freeing gems from walls that can wait.
And for the absolute peak, the ultimate score run, there's like a specific path, the optimal path to hell.
And it's this incredibly complex sequence, a journey filled with, as one guide put it, greed and murder and mayhem. It's about systematically breaking the game's economy and secrets.
Sounds intense. What does that look like? Give me the highlights.
Okay, so simplified, right? You might start by getting a special key to unlock a chest for the Jedi lets you see hidden gems and the black market entrance.
Okay.
Then maybe you blast your way into the black market to acquire the Ankh, which gives you a resurrection.
Acquire, right.
Then you might find a specific statue in the ice caves, deliberately die near it, use the Ankh, and come back wearing a special crown.
A hat. Why?
That hat gives you a, let's call it a status effect needed later. The guides call it something else.
Yeah.
Yeah. Then maybe detour into the mothership level, slice up aliens for gems, steal the plasma cannon, the weapon of mass destruction.
The cannon. Okay.
Then kindly borrow Anubis's scepter from the temple, use the scepter and your special status effect from the hat to enter the City of Gold. Plunder everything, grab another artifact, the Necronomicon, leave a gilded trail of smoldering ruin.
This is insane.
Almost done. The Necronomicon guides you to hell. You stomp the final boss, Olmec, on the way, and then you plunder Yama's throne in hell itself.
Yeah.
That's the gist of a max score hell run.
Oh, my head is spinning. That's a lot. And resources must be incredibly tight through all that, especially bombs.
Oh, absolutely critical. Bombs are precious. Like the rule for vaults, those treasure rooms with tough guards, is every vault is worth ghosting no matter how risky, unless it costs you your last bomb.
How do you deal with the vault guard? The maniacal lunatic.
Tactics. Fight him in the open. Use a stolen shotgun if you have one, or even a pickaxe. But watch out for his temporary invincibility after getting hit. Shopkeeper hyper armor, they call it. Makes it super dangerous for a second.
And conserving bombs everywhere else.
Crucial. Especially for the city's gold, which often needs bombs to access wealth. Use pickaxes on wall gems. Use exploding frogs in the jungle. Stun the Ankh shopkeeper instead of bombing him. Use mines in the ice caves. Use that plasma cannon in the mothership. And in the City of Gold itself, place bombs carefully near dense bricks or traps for maximum effect. Every bomb counts. And then there's the really deep stuff. The min-maxing. For the truly Konami greedy, as one person put it.
Like what?
Like ghost everything no matter how small, no matter how early. Takes insane patience. Giving idols to Kali altars, squeezing monkeys for cash. It takes forever, but adds up. There's even a weird engine quirk, where whipping gold piles just right gives double value.
Double value.
The pile breaks and spawns 3 ingots. Weird timing thing. Blowing up pots gets double breaks too. Going into Old Buddy's Cove for treasure despite piranhas.
And the ultimate challenges.
Oh, ghosting Olmec's stash under where he spawns. Ghosting Yama's throne in hell. Even ghosting the entire worm level by destroying Kali altars to force the ghost early? Absolutely nuts stuff. There's even talk of getting NPCs to carry the plasma cannon into the City of Gold for you.
Wow. Okay, connecting this back. The sheer depth here is staggering. All these systems interacting, every choice having these knock-on effects. It's like true emergent gameplay.
Exactly. It's a masterclass. The game gives you rules, and players find ways to use those rules in ways maybe even the developers didn't fully anticipate. These strategies aren't just about skill. They're about deep system knowledge and creativity, learning to see potential, not just danger.
Truly remarkable. Okay, so with that kind of legacy, that depth, the hype for Spelunky 2 must have been immense.
Through the roof, absolutely. When it finally dropped in 2020, yeah, the initial buzz from trailers was huge. People were saying it was everything we could ever have hoped, more of everything, looked prettier and more fantastic.
And did it deliver? What was the overall reception?
Overwhelmingly positive. Critics called it funner, more polished, greater in every aspect than Spelunky HD. Praised it for fixing little flaws, adding like 400% more content, feeling extremely smooth, and importantly, that feeling of failing almost always feels like my fault was still there.
So the magic was still there, a sequel that improved on the original. That's rare.
It really is.
What were some of the big new things? Content, mechanics?
Well, visually, some folks thought the very early tiles looked a bit garbage, but the final game had this more cartoony but still detailed art style that generally landed well. Big thing was branching paths, like the jungle could lead to 2 different World 2 biomes. New areas too, underwater, oriental themes. The mothership came back.
Nice. New ways to die, I assume. Enemies, traps?
Oh, you bet. New stuff, like rideable mounts that could save you from falls. New traps that, like, push you around. New creatures, ladybugs, more detailed bats and snakes. These fast-running monsters. This echidna-looking muffle that curls into a rolling hazard.
The cat shooter. I've heard whispers.
Ah, yes, the infamous cat-firing trap. Definitely caused some pain. Even old enemies learn new tricks. Goblins could climb ladders now. Robots got machinery. Oh, and a big item change. The teleporter became a backpack item, so you could hold it and the weapon.
Oh, that's handy.
Yeah. Plus enhanced liquid physics online multiplayer. Lots of additions.
Okay, so it sounds like a slam dunk. Awesome game, huge success. And yet, there's this weird point of friction, right? The first zone, the dwellings. Some players felt it was an overall miss.
Yeah, it's a strange paradox. The game is widely loved, a success, but that starting area, it became a sticking point for a vocal part of the community.
How can that happen? Especially if the issue isn't just it's too hard, but tedium.
Right. It's a subtle distinction. One critic broke it down into 5 main reasons. First, the moles and lizards.
Okay.
They have invincibility frames after being hit, 3 health points, their digging is random, they stun lock you constantly. They just demand inhuman reaction times. It's too much to worry about for the first zone.
Right, they're just trying to get your bearings.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Second, the UG caves. These optional little side rooms require finding a key, often far away, and carrying it all the way back. It feels like a tedious chore, especially early on, something that maybe shouldn't have been in Zone 1.
And I heard even the music was an issue for people doing lots of runs.
Yeah, that's the third point. The main dwellings track, while good on its own, gets incredibly repetitive when you're dying and restarting constantly. Especially for speedrunners, it just drills into your head. Tedious repetition.
Okay, what else?
Fourth, fixed mini-bosses. Encounters like the Mole Man chase or fighting a weaker version of Olmec, they happen predictably. In a game that thrives on randomness, these mandatory samey fights feel old and tedious after a while. Unlike, say, the varied bosses in Binding of Isaac, they just slow things down.
Makes sense in a roguelike context. And the fifth reason, level design.
Yeah, the actual room layouts. They often feel like these stitched together mini puzzles rather than a flowing level. Long empty corridors, tricky climbs up to spikes with block puzzles, zigzag platforms.
Designed to slow you down or trip you up.
Seems like it. Probably intended to teach mechanics, but after the 100th run, it just becomes frustration. They lack the overall level moods the first game's areas had. It felt less organic, more constructed to annoy. And it raises that interesting question, In a roguelike, randomness is king. So how much fixed stuff, how many deliberate roadblocks can you put in before you undermine that core replayability? Even top players, guys like Xanagir, admitted that dwellings were incredibly difficult and felt there's definitely things that you could change. It's a fine line.
Wow. Okay, so we've covered a lot. We've journeyed through Spelunky's deep, dark caves, from its freeware start, its genre-bending design, all the way to those insane wealth strategies.
Greed and murder and mayhem.
Right. And then into Spelunky 2, its evolution, the hype, and this fascinating debate around the dwellings.
It really is a game or series that feels like it hates you personally, like you said at the start.
Yeah.
But that's precisely why it's so rewarding. It demands mastery. It demands resilience. You have to learn from every single death, no matter how brutal or, humiliating. But it always feels fair.
So it makes you wonder, what other things, maybe in game design, maybe even in life, really reward that kind of tough love, that process of learning from failure again and again? How do games like Spelunky push us towards perseverance instead of just wanting instant gratification? And what can we maybe take from that when we're dealing with other complex systems, our jobs, hobbies, whatever?
That's a deep thought to end on.
Yeah, maybe we've only scratched the surface.
Yeah.
But perhaps Spelunky's real treasure isn't the gold, shiny as it is. Maybe it's the wisdom you gain about just pushing through challenges, however tough they seem.